If you can't handle me sleeping with your friends, then leave, they are real men.
I'm divorcing him.
I can't survive on his pathetic salary anymore.
Those were her exact words. She wasn't whispering. She wasn't crying. She was laughing.
I was sitting 2 chairs away in her mother's kitchen, a glass of wine in her hand, thinking I couldn't hear her through the wall. She forgot one important detail. I was the one who fixed that wall.
I knew exactly where the sound leaked. She also forgot that I stopped reacting months ago. She thought she had me fooled. She believed she'd already won.
She assumed I didn't hear her mother's advice. Get everything.
He's too soft to fight back.
She thought I didn't notice the sudden change, the dead bedroom transforming into forced kisses, fake smiles, and obligatory dinners.
She thought I was weak. It wasn't always like that.
3 years earlier, she used to hum love songs while ironing my shirts.
Back then, she said she admired how grounded I was.
I'm a mechanical engineer. Not flashy, but a solid, stable job.
She once said stability was sexy.
Then her friends started marrying lawyers, executives, CEOs, heirs to family fortunes. Suddenly, my stability turned into mediocrity. Love became comparison. I gave her comfort. She craved luxury. When her influencer cousin visited, she introduced me as a small-time engineer, but really sweet.
That was the first knife to the chest. But I smiled and took notes.
The real betrayal revealed itself on an ordinary Thursday night.
I found a printed document hidden in the kitchen drawer. She didn't know printers store a log. The title?
Divorce strategy. Underneath were bullet points.
Demand the house. Ask for alimony.
Don't mention his private investment fund, he'll never bring it up.
She knew. She knew about the private portfolio I'd built long before we met. She even told her lawyer I didn't have one. Why?
Because if I never disclosed it in court, it wouldn't count as marital property.
She was counting on me playing dumb. So I did. I began documenting everything. Quietly. Methodically.
I installed an app on her phone disguised as a calendar widget. It recorded her calls, synced her texts. I heard her practice her courtroom speech. I can't keep pretending. I've sacrificed so much. I watched her rehearse fake tears in the mirror. She bragged to her friends that she'd walk away with the house, the money, and everyone's sympathy. He'll even thank me for taking it all, she said. He's too much of a coward to fight.
I smiled and kept playing my part.
When her lawyer finally reached out with divorce terms, I agreed without hesitation. No resistance.
No fight.
She grinned as she slid the papers across the table.
Thank you for not making this harder, she said.
You deserve everything, I replied, signing the papers.
She didn't realize what I truly meant by everything.
A week later, she moved into what she thought was now her house. The deed she believed she claimed.
I let her settle in. Then I triggered the clause.
3 years before we married, I had placed the house under a shell company owned by a trust. That trust was tied to my private portfolio, the one she insisted didn't exist.
Her name had never been on any of it. And she never bothered to ask.
I waited a month, long enough for her to repaint the walls, redecorate, and throw her little victory parties. Then she received the eviction notice, 15 days to vacate.
Panic. She called her lawyer. He had no idea either.
I sent him a handwritten letter with just one line. You should have asked about the fund. He called her, his voice trembling. Why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you read the letter they just sent? She screamed. Then she called me. What are you doing? This is my house now.
No, I replied calmly. It was never yours. She tried to fight. Tried to play the victim with friends.
That's when I released the recordings, her fake crying rehearsals, her divorce strategy document, her own voice saying, he's too soft to fight. Sympathy evaporated overnight. No one pities a manipulative schemer with a wine glass and a plan. Exactly 16 days later, I walked back into my home. The walls were freshly painted, her perfume still faint in the air.
But she was gone. And so was the mask. I didn't destroy her. I didn't have to.
She built her empire on lies. All I did was let the foundation collapse. She moved back into her mother's house.
No home. No alimony. No assets. And me? I stayed silent. Never gloated. Never posted. I simply lived. People mistake silence for weakness. But silence is strategy. I let her believe I was powerless.
I let her dig her own hole.
Then I handed her the shovel. She wanted to leave a scar on me.
In the end, it was her own reflection that shattered. I walked away with everything, and not an ounce of regret.